Menteri Rangba ke Jylla Meghalaya Konrad ke Sangma ula pentep naki lai pundu tili kishnong khappud ke Jylla Meghalaya wat Assam lai pau tili naki kinsa sa Meghalaya katkum ki jing a jimut ki regional committee number ar Jylla haba pentep ya kani hakasi ba ar ka dolbar mangtengka ke Jylla Meghalaya haka nyutrik luber arjar arpuar Menteri Rangba ulu ongru ba kanum don ke jing sakta ikitrai jaka ondalapya ya pod usam hapadeng kini ki Jylla ar tili Kilai phu tuli gisnong kibansa sa Jylla Meghalaya kinhap ha kajenghe kachaka kabalong khatpra square kilometer bat gisnong kibasa bat ka asam pat kinhap ha kajenghe chaka kabalong khatpra point khnai square kilometer Menteri Rangba ula pensyairu ya kaciya lenti jongbro art li ki Jylla banweng ya kam kan at khappud kabalane da ki phau phau sinam banta dak ba pentep ba ka memorandum of understanding kabalai soi ha padeng chong bat Menteri Rangba ka Jylla Assam kadon ha katanat kampo yeng kari India uloong ba ha ka khandai terik ulber arjar arpuar ma rengkat ba Menteri Rangba ka Assam kinhiari kendu yo Amit Shah Menteri Badai Pe ya katanat kampo yeng ka sarkar India banikran halol kani
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I am very grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to make a statement on a very, very important matter relating to the interstate boundary issue. Sir, ever since the state of Meghalaya came into existence, the interstate boundary dispute between Assam and Meghalaya, as defined by the Northeastern Areas Reorganization Act 1971, has been a bone of contention between the two states. So the 12 areas of differences furnished by the state of Meghalaya, wide letter number POL.78/2010/209, dated 8th of August 2011, are number 1, Tarabari, number 2, Gizang, number 3, Hahim, number 4, Langpi, number 5, Bordwar, number 6, Boklapara, number 7, Nongwa Mautwar, number 8, Khanapara Pilankata, number 9, Desh Dumriya, number 10, Block 1 and Block 2, number 11, Pisiar and Kanduli, and number 12, Ratachera. Sir, on the 23rd of July, 2021, there was a meeting at Shnong between the Chief Minister of Assam and the Chief Minister of Meghalaya. And on that day, it was decided that 6 areas of differences, namely number 1, Tarabari, number 2, Gizang, number 3, Hahim, number 4, Boklapara, number 5, Khanapara Pilankata, and number 6, Ratachera, would be taken up for consideration in the first phase. Subsequently, another 5 rounds of meetings between both the chief ministers were held. In the meeting between the Chief Minister of Assam and Chief Minister of Meghalaya on the 6th of August 2021 at Guwahati, it was decided that regional committees headed by senior cabinet ministers and local MLAs and other officials as members will be constituted from both sides for the 6 areas of differences. These regional committees will be tasked to jointly visit the 6 areas of differences. It was also decided that the criteria to be followed will be based on 5 mutually agreed principles. Number 1, the historical perspective. Number 2, the ethnicity of the local population. Number 3, the contiguity with the boundary. Number 4, people's will. And number 5, administrative convenience as the yardsticks. In pursuance of the above decision, the Government of Assam, via notification number BPDD 173/2017/172, dated 23rd of September 2021, and Government of Meghalaya, via notification number POL.68/2015/194, dated 7th September 2021, notified the 3 regional committees for Ribhoy, number 2, West Khasi Hills, and number 3, East Jylla Hills. The committee for Ribhoy was headed by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Preston Tinsong, and the other MLAs of the area and the district. The second committee for West Khasi Hills was chaired by Shri Renington Lingdo Tongkar and other MLAs and officials of the district. For the East Jylla Hills, the committee was chaired by Shri Snobalang Dhar, Honorable Cabinet Minister, other ministers, and other MLAs and officials. And these committees were given the terms of reference, which included, inter alia, to coordinate with the counterpart regional committees, to jointly visit the villages, interact with the local communities, and interact with other stakeholders. The regional committees were to submit their report to their respective governments at the earliest. On the 16th of November 2021, at Guwahati, in a meeting between the Chief Minister of Assam and the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, it was decided that the 3 regional committees of each of the states will submit their reports by 30th of November 2021 to their respective chief ministers, and may undertake further visits to their respective areas if felt necessary. The 3 regional committees of Assam and Meghalaya have conducted joint inspections, visited the 6 areas of differences, carried out consultation not only with the villagers and local communities living in the area, but also with other stakeholders like traditional heads, district councils, and civil society organizations. During the process of conducting these visits, a total of 22 visits and meetings were made by these 3 different regional committees. The Chief Minister of Meghalaya and Chief Minister of Assam had a meeting in Guwahati on the 22nd of December 2021 and decided that the regional committees of both the states will share their reports with their counterparts by 31st of December 2021. For this end, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya and Chief Minister of Assam met on the 12th of January 2022, wherein it was decided that the reports of the regional committees will be consolidated and the joint report of both the states will be submitted to the Chief Minister of each state so that the matter can be taken up with the Government of India. It was decided that any other area/villages situated outside the areas of difference shown in the maps submitted by Meghalaya via their letter number POL.78/2010/209 dated 8th of August 2011 will not be considered. Finally, based on the reports of the regional committees on the 29th of January 2022, a MOU was signed between the states of Assam and Meghalaya to record the agreed position arrived at between the two states and to conclude the process of joint consultations. The purpose of this MOU is to come to a conclusion to the interstate boundary between the states of Assam and Meghalaya in respect of the 6 areas of differences, out of the total of 12 areas of differences as furnished by the state of Meghalaya, wide letter number POL.78/2010/2009, dated 8th August 2011, for delineation and demarcation with the fixation of boundary pillars on ground. The copy of the MOU has been submitted to the Union Home Ministry on the 31st of January 2022 for examination and consideration of the Ministry of Home Affairs. The above said matter has also been intimated to the Prime Minister on the 31st of January 2022 for his intervention to ensure that the matter be given due consideration and priority by the Government of India to resolve the areas of differences. Sir, I would now like to go into some of the brief points and details of the MOU that was signed. Number A, West Khasi Hills District. In West Khasi Hills District, there were 3 areas of differences that were taken up in the first phase. Tarabari area. Total 8 villages were claimed by Meghalaya, namely Upper Tarabari/Walkham, number 2, Rangket, number 3, Thankola, number 4, Chingipa/Chingade, number 5, Doini Charadonu, number 6, Dapolpara, number 7, Balkham, and number 8, Malang Salbari. Out of these, all 8 villages will come to Meghalaya. And this will be based on the report and the claims that were given by Meghalaya through letter number POL.78/2010/2009. Number 2, in Gizang area, there were 3 villages. Out of these 3 villages, village Amagaon and Gohanimara will be in Meghalaya, and 3rd village, Malsapara, along with the Gizang Reserve Forest, will be in Assam. Number 3, Hahim area. In Hahim area, out of the 12 villages that were claimed by Meghalaya, namely number 1, Rongthali, Ranighat, number 1, Rongthali, number 2, Ranighat, number 3, Atyabari, number 4, Thamnaguri/Sonakuri, number 5, Mataputi/Umshia, number 6, Maspara, number 7, Moipara, number 8, Malapara/Nalapara, number 9, Simrang Umsaitwat, and number 11, Simrang/Salpara. Villages will come to Meghalaya, and 1 village, namely Tutiapara/Tutia Bazar, will be in Assam. In Reboi district, 2 areas of differences were looked into. Number 1, Boklapara area. And out of the 2 villages that were claimed in Boklapara area, Boklapara village will come to Meghalaya, Jumrigao village will go to Assam. In Khanapara, Pilankata, parts of the villages of Maikuli, Pilankata and Borapatar's stone quarry area will be in Meghalaya. Further, in Khanapara area, it is agreed that the ASTC transit camp to the police outpost Namgarh, Assam inhabited areas of number 1 Khanapara village and Dreamland Resort will be with Assam. The rest of the areas, including the entire apartment complex of Brahmaputra Realtors Private Limited, will be with Meghalaya. In Patarkuchi area, areas inhabited by ethnic communities of Meghalaya and their religious and cultural places, if any, will be included in Meghalaya during detailed survey. In Maikuli area, Maumari Bill, which is adjacent to Maikuli playground, will remain with Assam, and the Maikuli graveyard will be with Meghalaya. East Jaintia Hills district, Ratachera area. Out of the total 4 villages, 3 villages, namely Malidor, Ratachera and Bodar Umpadet, will be in Meghalaya. The remaining village of Baleshwar Grant Venue village will be part of Assam. In summary, both the state governments have agreed on the following. Number 1, both the state governments have agreed that no new area of difference shall be added in future beyond the already identified 12 areas of differences. Out of the total of 36 villages claimed by Meghalaya in 2011, a total of 30, some fully and a few partially, is being recommended to be within Meghalaya. The details are as follows. Tarabari, out of 8 villages, all 8. In Gizam, out of 3 villages, 2 in Meghalaya. In Hahim, out of 12 villages, 11 in Meghalaya. Boklapara, out of 2 villages, 1 village in Meghalaya. Khanapara, Pilankata, out of the 6, 5. Ratachera, out of the 5, 3. The areas mentioned above the areas mentioned above have been arrived through a tabletop exercise using spatial technologies and will be more accurately determined during the detailed survey to be undertaken by Survey of India in the presence of the representatives from both the state governments. A rough area of 36.79 kilometers in these 6 areas are under differences, and after the detailed discussion, surveys and visits being made by the regional committees, approximately 18 square kilometers plus minus will come to Meghalaya and 18 square kilometers plus minus will go to Assam. Ownership of the land will not be affected irrespective of the administrative control by whichever state gets the particular area. Sir, I am very happy to be able to present this particular statement to the House, especially on the Golden Jubilee year of our state. This has been an area which has been under dispute and areas of differences for a very, very long time. And at this point in time, while I make this statement, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the leaders in the past who have contributed to bringing this discussion to this level that we are today. There are many former chief ministers, there are many former ministers, many former chief secretaries and officials who have contributed largely to the discussions and to the details of all the studies that have been done. And it is most appropriate for us to recognize the efforts that have been made by them, because it was a process. And this process has been moved towards a conclusion today, at least in the 6 areas. But it would not have been possible for us to come to this level had it not been for the hard work of all the previous governments, all the previous chief ministers, and the officials and ministers who have worked very hard. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank the regional committees. As was mentioned in my statement, the regional committees have visited villages which were never visited before. And to be able to come to a conclusion in this kind of a complicated situation, it cannot be done by simply sitting in Guwahati or in Shillong. It has to be done by visiting the areas and meeting the people who are being affected by this decision. And it is only because of the hard work that has been put in by the regional committees and all the work that has been done by them that we are able to come to this particular MOU today. I also would like to thank our officials who have really worked very hard to be able to bring this to this level. I also would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, who has been a person who has been very supportive and very determined to see that we are able to come to a conclusion. And without his will and without the will of the government of Meghalaya, this would not have been possible. Therefore, I also thank the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam for the entire push that has been given from his end also, not just to the government of Assam, but to this entire process that has been there. I also would like to mention here, sir, that whatever solution that has been we have come out with, this has not been something that has been easy for us to do. We have met officially, unofficially in many situations and occasions and tried to come up with the best solution that is possible. And what I have mentioned today here may not be a perfect solution that we would want, but we strongly have felt that this is the best solution that we can bring forward today and present towards the House. As I said, it has not been an easy exercise. It has been very tough. I will be moving to Delhi on the 9th of this month, where the Honorable Home Minister of India, Government of India, has called both the Chief Minister of Assam and Chief Minister of Meghalaya to finally discuss on the MOU that was signed. And I am very hopeful, sir. I'm very hopeful that we will be able to announce some positive statement on that particular day based on the MOU that has been signed between the two states, the details of which I have shared with this House today. So with these few words and with this particular clarification on the interstate boundary issue that we are having, sir, as I said, I'm happy to inform you that we should be able to come to a conclusion. I would just like to add before I sit down is that one very important aspect which we have tried to follow in this entire process of moving forward is that we have tried to realize and understand that we cannot simply sit down and base our decision on the positions that we have had for the past many, many decades. And we cannot decide also on the basis of only the documentation that we had from whether Assam or from government of Meghalaya. And therefore, the 5 areas or the 5 criteria that we brought in guided us to be able to come to this conclusion. And I must say that the dominant criteria out of these 5 have been the will of the people of that area and the overall ethnicity of the local population. These had been the dominant criteria, but while saying that, a solution is something that different principles and different yardsticks and different criteria can be applied by both the states depending on the situation. But we have tried to look at people's will and the ethnicity as one of the main criteria, while also considering the other criteria and the past documentation in order to be able to come to a situation where both the states could come to a conclusion on these 6 areas. So therefore, once again, sir, before I resume my seat, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to make a statement on this very, very important issue. And once again would like to thank each and everyone who has contributed, not just in the present, but in the past also, to be able to come to this level where in the 50th year and golden jubilee of our state, that we should be able to come to a conclusion on not just these 6 areas. I'm very confident that once we are able to resolve these 6 areas, and once we are able to come to a conclusion in these 6 areas, which I'm hopeful in the next few days we will, I'm very, very hopeful that even the rest of the 6 locations also, we will be able to move forward in a very, very positive direction. So with these few words and with these statements, sir, I would like to resume my seat. Thank you, sir.